Okay, one canoe, an old one, fiberglass. Fitted this center support last night and started fitting the seats last night. So I'm going to do a video on how I fitted these seats. The piece of wood underneath to support at the height that I want to fit the seats at. I just want to show you that on mine they've got beveled edges, and I've had to shape all these and cut these and drill them as well. The seats come complete, longer than this, much longer. So these are the offcuts of the seat, and they do come with fixing brackets and bolts, but I wanted my seats to fit a little bit lower. I'm 6 footer, so I'll show you how I drilled them and measured them and how I fitted my seats in this canoe. Maybe not the right way or the professional way, but how I did mine. I thought you might be interested, so on we go. So one of the first things to do is to find yourself an old piece of wood, and I measured roughly the distance from one side of the boat to the other, and then I'll cut the wood to the widest part where I want the seat to fit. So the widest part, okay? I also shaped it so that it will actually fit. If you look at the end, I've shaped it slightly so it fits quite snug. And then what I did then, made sure it was accurate, and then I cut the first seat. Okay, and once I've finished, I cut both seats, or measured, I marked both seats the same with this piece of wood, marked them on the actual seat. And then what I did then was cut this piece of wood down again, because as you see the boat narrows towards the back or the front, whichever you want to call it. So after I knew I got it pretty well good, I cut this piece of wood down again for the narrower bit. After you've measured, and these are the offcuts off the seat itself from the back here. These are exceptionally long. So once I've cut them off, there was loads left over, different sizes, so I cut them all down. Just using a circular saw. You can use it by hand, it doesn't really matter. They're all equal lengths, and this is the length that I wanted. These are the originals that came, which are slightly narrower and shorter. I just wanted a little bit longer, a bit long in the leg. So what I did was put these into a vise and just use a hand drill, which I've got, and then just actually go one side. You see the hole going through, so I just drilled sort of as much as the drill will go down halfway, and then turned it over and did exactly the same the other way. Pretty straightforward. Line, and it seemed to have, every single one I didn't sort of cock up on, it worked alright. I bought extended bolts off the famous eBay. These are stainless steel as well. I'm going to get some locking nuts for the bottom of these, because they just got, oh no, I've got the locking ones, sorry, there you go. These are the locking washers, and the locking nuts I mean. Okay, and then once I've lined the seat up and I placed these on top of the seat, I use this support block, which is just a block of wood with a piece of wood on top. So I knew the height that I wanted to put the seat at, so I forced the seat into place, which binded it against the edges of the canoe, as you can see, and that held the seat in place. And then putting the blocks on the top, I had to grind that out, which I used a Dremel, or you can use an ordinary file, whatever you want, just to get the, so just come, yours might be straight edges, mine were just bevels, so I had to do that. And then lined them up, marked them underneath, and then drill a hole into the seat. Pretty straightforward. You can see the pencil mark there I did, each one, and then just guessed where the hole's going to be. It's pretty easy. Drilled it through and lined them up, and that was it really. Pretty straightforward. Next thing to do is get the other one fitted and get that drilled, which I'll use the same support there. I'll bring it down and I'll put it underneath here, get it roughly where I want it, and then I'll drill through. These are the originals seats with just 2 pieces of wood, and they were just fixed along the top here, which makes the boat, you're sitting very high, makes it a little bit more unstable. So doing it this way, I think the boat will be more stable. So before you put these supports in place, if you look at the top, it's not quite going far enough back. I want it to sort of be halfway when I put the bolt through. So this is why on mine I've got this bevel like I've told you before, so I'm going to have to just slightly use it. I'm using a Dremel, and I'm just going to take that out like I did with these. Okay, I'll make it sit back so that the support bolt sits further back in. Okay, so just a Dremel or a standard file, and then I've supported the new seat I'm fitting with the same support I had with that one. That was just hanging loose now with the nuts at the bottom ready to be tightened. And that's finished. So I'll do the same with this, and then what I'll do is once these are in place, they'll be back a bit further, which will be ideal, and then I shall mark it across there, just roughly guess where the hole's going to be, drill through there, and I'll drill back here, and then the rod will line up and go straight through. Easy. Okay, this is my piece of wood, this is my Dremel, and roughly I'm going about here. What I'll do now is just keep on working away. It's about an inch wide. There's no rush, take your time. But if yours has got straight edges, you won't have to do this. It's only because mine is like a very old canoe. The idea is this, like I said, is to make it sit back so I can get the support bolt further in. So I've ground it out, it doesn't have to be perfect, and then because there you go, the idea is I want it to fit back as far as I can, so that'll now fit in nicely in there, which is set back. I will drill the hole, which will be line up about there, which you can tell by eye. Then I shall mark it, pencil it, just bring that across a bit. There you go, I will pencil that, I will mark it there, I will pencil that, move it, and I shall drill it, and it'll line up beautifully, just like that one. If you like the video, thanks very much for watching. If you could subscribe, that'd be great. I shall put a link down below where I bought the chairs from, and great, thanks very much indeed. Cheers, bye.